Yeah, okay, you saying my name doesn't make it sound like me, mother.
Oh, that's
That's
Taylor.
pretty close. There we go. There we go.
No, I'm a lower pitched lady apparently.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
Lower pitch lady.
Okay, whatever that was, I don't want to ever
I'm
hear that again.
What's his name? Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what you sound like right there.
But yeah, so we last left off on the last podcast, guys. We were saying that we were gonna do some childhood cringe stories, and Jackson was talking about it, and we were like, hey, we're gonna save this for next episode. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start off with some just like childhood cringe stuff that we kind of remember and regret or cringe at constantly, which I definitely have my own story. But all of us are gonna share a little bit, and then yeah, we got a few things. I got a few things I want to talk about for sure. But with that said, yeah, Jackson, if you want to go ahead and just take the lead on whatever story you're going to tell us last time, I think everyone's interested. So
Funny thing, I don't remember what story I started last time, but I remembered one from whenever I was a kid. It was back whenever Open Season first came out. If you guys remember that movie,
Vaguely.
vaguely, isn't it
whenever the
animated?
deer, I forgot his
Oh
name.
yeah.
He fell off a cliff. And then he was like, I'm okay. And then like kind of waited a beat and it said, nobody cares. And to me as a kid, that was the funniest shit in the world. And I started running around the house, just like throwing myself at the floor, just repeating that saying for like 2 weeks straight to the point where my mom has started yelling at me, telling me to stop. And I look back at it and I think that I was like a little autistic.
Your story's a lot more mild than what I was going to say.
Just a little?
No, my story I feel like is a lot more
I wish I remember
dirty.
What story I was going to say, because I know for a fact it was some unhinged shit from whenever I was a kid, but I don't remember. And I'm so sad. I have to go back through the episode to see.
Yeah, because I remember being like, you said something and I said, yeah, I'm sure you have a lot of crazy kid stories because it's you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I said something along those lines.
This isn't cringe, but I got lost in the middle of Fort Leonardwood, the military base here, whenever I was 7. I got lost for about 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours.
Did your parents call the cops?
Yeah, they had to call the MPs. The reason was my dad was jogging, my brother was on his little tricycle, and I was riding my bike behind my dad. But my dad was running faster than I was biking because I was just chilling. And I didn't see that he turned to the vehicle depot. And so he turned while I went straight. And I just kept on biking. And I think I was biking for like another hour until I realized that I haven't seen anybody for a little bit. And that was like whenever I started like freaking out. And I was like, I started crying. And I passed by this truck. And I was always told that like if you don't know anybody, don't talk to them. And so I just passed by without saying anything. But then I hit a highway and I was like, well, this doesn't make any sense. You know, and like my little kid brain, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. We were on a dirt road. So I turned back around, and as I was heading back, the way I came, the dude who owned the truck was at his truck and he saw me crying and he goes, what's wrong? And I was like, I started crying and I was like, I can't find my mom and I'm lost. And so he calls the MPs, was like, hey, I got a lost kid here. And they were like, yo, we've been looking for him for like 3 hours. So the MP rolls up with his truck and throws my bike in the back and picks me up and takes me over to my mom. And my mom's sitting there. She's like surrounded by like all these cops and all these people, like bystanders and everything. And my grandma was there, my grandpa, aunt, uncle, like everybody was there. And I was like, looking back at it, I felt bad because I didn't know that my dad turned. But my mom still mentions it to this day, just like, yeah, You remember when you got lost? I was like, yeah, I do. Thanks for keep bringing that up.
I mean,
But
if
thought it
I
was
was
pretty
your
funny looking
dad, I
back on it.
would have. Yeah, I would have definitely kept you in front of me.
Yeah, they didn't really think about it. And plus, I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna go anywhere. It's a military base. There's nowhere
It's
really
not like I'm
to
gonna go anywhere. It disappears for 5 hours.
True.
Where do I gotta go? Well, I can go get lost for a couple hours. Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
hmm
No, I mean,
Yeah. But,
that's pretty mild to what I was expecting, to be honest.
oh, I destroyed a VHS player and my car seat whenever I was a kid with maple syrup.
Okay, that's just heartbreaking.
I mean, it's something I did. I
That's just
I
heartbreaking at this
grabbed
point.
the maple syrup and I put it in the selector for the VCR and put it all over the car seat and all over the walls. Oh my gosh, I was such a like. Oh my god, I was such a bad kid.
My mom would have beat my
I feel
ass.
so bad for my mom.
That's I don't know how y'all's cars looked when y'all were kids, but like maybe it's just my mom, but like she had 3 kids, granted. But like dude, her car used to stay so disgusting. Like there would be old food and shit everywhere from when we ate out at like McDonald's or something like that, which was very rare, but like it still happened, you know? And there'd be like
Mhm.
old crusted old fries in the floor and like crumbs, like just, baby
Ugh.
crumbs. You know how babies make a mess? Like
Ooh.
3 kids, like the whole back seat used to be trashed. You guys didn't have that issue?
No, my mom was a neat freak. She still kind of is. She never did and doesn't let people eat in her car.
Yeah. My parents tried to set that rule at one point, but it didn't last very long.
My mom was very, if it's not a road trip, then yeah, can you knock it off? But my mom was like, if it's not a road trip, then there's no reason to eat in the car.
Yeah, I mean that kind of solves the issue of not having their car like how my mom's was, but well, I guess while we're on the subject, I just want to see like my shit. Okay, so the story I'm gonna tell is not super unhinged, but like it's just so nasty. So I want to see if anybody else has a story that's gonna like make me feel more revolted than what I already am at myself or the story I'm
Mhm.
gonna tell. So I want to hear y'all's story before I say my stories.
Okay, I guess I'll go. So this took place probably around 4th or 5th grade, and during that time, there was a big boom in school about parkour. Uh, so of course, learning the basics, doing whatever, just hanging out with some friends who were also like interested in it, and just doing that stuff, kind of at recess and what have you. Um, and of course, me thinking it was like I was hot, like hot shit, and I thought I was like the coolest kid on planet Earth at the time. Noah did have a little crush during that time going on, and so what I thought would be like the absolute best idea ever, like this is gonna woo her over, and this is gonna be like fairy tale ending type stuff. I decided like it was like the end of the recess, and so everybody was like lining up, and so like she was on her way over, and I thought it would be the coolest thing ever to like just bust out a front flip just right then and there. And so I did do it, right? And you know, I had never really done flips before. Like I maybe like landed one or two, but full-fledged confidence. You gotta like just go for it on a whim. And so I over rotated it, and I ended up just like straight up landing straight on my shoulder. Kind of looks like I face planted a little bit, and I absolutely broke my collarbone in half.
Ooh.
All
That's
because I
wild.
wanted to impress a woman.
A woman. It
So
was
I
like
think
a
about that a
5-year-old
lot.
child.
Women, bro. Telling you. No.
I mean, yeah, never again. I never did parkour again after that. It broke my soul.
Oh, this one time in elementary school, we were playing shit. What's that game with the pole and the ball and the string? Like tetherball or something?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
tetherball.
like you hit it back and forth. Yeah. Well, I was playing tetherball at one point, and I went to go like dive for the ball, and I accidentally like punched this kid in the nuts. But like, I didn't like hit him, but it almost hit him. I almost punched him in the nuts. I didn't actually punch him. I almost did. But then he like backed up. He goes, "Oh, he's trying to grab my wiener." I was so embarrassed after that. Like I didn't like to this day I don't like that kid. To this day.
Okay, so like, all right, I have 2 stories now.
Ooh,
Yeah. So yours and Jackson's story combined made me remember something that it's not even really that
They're trying to
cringy,
grab a
but I
kid's
do
wiener?
just no. I never grabbed a kid's wiener. I don't think I don't think I ever grabbed an actual wiener until I was 18, to be honest. But
Damn.
that's
Alright.
but like, no. Okay. So like okay. The original story I was gonna tell. It's something that I will never forget to this day, and it's so disgusting, and that I cringe at because it's so disgusting. But so like, you guys, like, we all used to play outside. Like, that's what kids did back in the day. Like, this before computers were around, but like, they were the big box computers, and they were super expensive, and not many people had them, and like, we were all outside, like, drinking nasty ass hot water out of like the old water hose and like rolling around in mud. And like, at least I did. I grew up in the middle of nowhere in like country land, farmland. And but I wanted like a sour drink. Like, I like sour candy. And so I was thinking, sour drink sounds pretty good. Like, I want a sour drink. So my kid brain, I had the brightest idea to go and get a dirty old, like, sand bucket from out the yard. It was just a dirty bucket, like, just laying around in the bucket. That had probably, like, mud and God only knows what else was in that bucket at some point. I'm sure there was probably traces of feces since it was dirt from the yard, and, animals exist. But anyways, I took the bucket, and I went and I filled it up with water from out the old dirty water hose. And I sat it on top of a play set, because we used to have a play set. It was literally just like, there's a swing and there was a slide, but you had to climb up a ladder to get to the slide. So, one of those really old play sets that everyone had. But, so I took this bucket filled with water and I put an old dirty Frisbee over it to like, like a lid. And every time I would get candy, like if it was like Easter, like I would get candy, I would just keep adding candy into the bucket. I would dump all of my hard artificial candy, like Jolly Ranchers and stuff like that, into this bucket. And I let that shit ferment. For a long time outside in the heat and the weather. And eventually, because I distinctly remember the color. The color, it became like a really, really muggy, like foggy color. Like, the water was very unclear for a while, but I let that shit sit out there for a long time, adding to it. And I'm like, oh my God, this shit's gonna slap. Like, this is gonna be so great. And I remember getting so excited, and I went and tried it, and I tried like a sip of it. And it was so freaking nasty. Like, oh, like, it's so nasty, but I tried to sip on it. I'm like gagging thinking about it. I tried a sip of it, and it literally just tasted like watery, like watered down, like, I don't even know how to describe the taste, but like, thank God it wasn't like rancid. I don't know how I didn't get like sick off of that bullshit. But like,
you didn't get superpowers.
Like, I know where my mind was at.
Magic brew.
I listen. I know where my mind was at, and at that age, which I can't remember, I would assume that I was like 7 or 8, considering the house it was at. I don't know what was going through my mind, but I thought that shit was gonna slap. It most certainly did not. How I didn't get food poisoning, I have no idea. Like,
how you didn't get any type of poisoning is
I didn't get like tetanus or some shit. Like, I don't know. That's from stepping in metal, but like, whatever. Like, how did I not get like AIDS from that shit? Like, obviously you can't get AIDS from, you know what I'm saying? But like, how did I not get something from that? Like, I don't know. But that's something maybe I still have, like, maybe that's why I only got COVID once. I'm like immune to shit from that candy juice that I made.
For real. That's your superpower.
That like fermented outside for God knows how. I wasted so much candy on that shit too, for it to taste like, you know what it was? My candy to water ratio is off. I filled the bucket almost all the way up. I should have filled it like only like 2 inches. That way the candy would have like had more like less room to work with, but like it was just watered down. Like the water didn't even taste sweet. Maybe that's because it had probably gotten like really stagnant. I don't know. It was outside for a long time with a frisbee, braving the weather, so
That is
was
disgusting.
Yeah, that's something I think back to pretty often. I'm like, wow, I did that. Yeah, basically I did that. But y'all's story reminded me of something different. Going back to like playground, like Noah breaking his collarbone and you doing your bullshit. So this is like a really fast story, and it's a memory that you guys triggered. But like, metal playgrounds, they're great. They're sturdy. They're great. They're better than wood playgrounds. But on my,
oh my god,
school,
dude, you're like bringing back like several memories right now. I gotta start writing this shit down.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Let me adjust.
Write that down. Write that down.
Write it down right now. Write it down right now. All right. Okay.
Let's go. Come on. What are we doing?
All right. I've adjusted my my seating position, but my foot was falling asleep. But anyways, metal playgrounds. They're great. Everyone likes metal playgrounds. They're better than wood. Why are they better than wood? Because they're sturdy. Well, anyway, back then they just threw the kids out to the wolves. Go out and play, guys. Have fun. Early 2000s. Anyways, it had rained, and so everything was wet and slippery. And, I think nowadays, whenever playgrounds get like this, they're probably shut down now because it's very unsafe to have children, like, running around on wet, slippery metal, like, playground stuff and climbing up stuff. But, like, when I was younger, they didn't give a shit. So, anyways, I was, like, rapidly climbing up one of those metal ladders to get up to, like, the top of the playground to be able to get on the slide. And I slipped. And I don't have nuts. I do not have a penis. But I landed, the bar hit me right in the vagina. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. And so, like, I, like, was in so much pain. And, like, I had hit it hard enough to where I was, like, bleeding down there.
Damn.
And, like, they sent me to the nurse's office. And I remember the nurse, like, all right, take off your pants. And they had to, like, inspect the area. They put, like, Vaseline on it. I was in there, and that, like, triggered a playground memory that I think I buried and I would have liked to have never remembered again. But, yeah, Noah's collarbone story brought that out. But, like, that was a time in my life that I forgot. But, yeah, that was something.
So I have 4 stories that I remember just from those alone. So, can I go back to what you said about the playground thing?
Go for it.
So, we had this plastic slide, and from 1st grade to 5th grade, everybody called it the kissing slide.
Oh, God.
And
I already know where this is going.
it's so fucking cringe, bro. So, one kid would go down, and then the second kid would go down, and then you would kiss in the slide. But then after you'd kiss, you'd put the your initials in the slide, like you'd carve it into the slide.
Oh, it's
with
so
like a rock that
cringy.
we'd find or some shit. Like,
Ugh.
oh my god, I hate telling this story, dude. I can't believe I
Oh,
remember
dude,
that.
this is cringing
Can you
me
get
out.
off my
I
desk,
already,
please, please.
Tell Martha to get up. My cat's been up my ass while we've been recording this. I'm almost positive you can hear her in the background of some of it.
Like, and oh my god. Like, I remember there was like 4 of us. Or no, there was like 6 of us. There was me, this chick named Miranda, who I still talk to this day. Katie, Matthew, Jesse, Lily. Those are the people that always like that went down the slide. And like, I guarantee you, I don't know if the slide is still up today. Like, I'd have to swing by the school to see. But like, if somebody were to take it apart, there would be so many initials just inside of the slide because we'd get other kids to do it.
Who did you kiss?
Miranda.
Okay, I was thinking it was Miranda, but you didn't say directly that you kissed Miranda. So,
Yeah, no, it was Miranda.
Is she hot?
Yeah.
Okay, damn.
What are you
He
waiting for?
kissed
Make
a
moves,
baddie
then.
back when the baddie was a toddler or whatever.
Stop. That sounds so bad. I don't like that.
It sounds terrible. Oh, yeah.
Another story. So I grew up in a military family, so my dad we were always moving around. Well, we ended up moving over to Springfield. It's about an hour away from here, and this is the first house that we had that had stairs in it. And me and my brothers, we always saw like those movies where like the kid would sit in the tub and they would like go down the stairs in the tub. Well, I thought it was a good idea to do it, but I had my brother do it instead of me, even though it was my idea. And as soon as I pushed him, the box got stuck on the first step, so then my brother ended up just tumbling down the stairs.
Oh my goodness.
And he hit his head on the edge of the stair.
Oh my
And
god.
he had a giant goose egg. We talk about it and we laugh about it. Like, that's why I don't feel bad about it anymore.
Are you talking about your
But-
brother, like cherry limeade?
Yeah.
Oh, poor kid.
Yep.
That's why he was such a little menace when we first met him.
Him
Because he
and
got
I
a
have like
goose egg
gotten
on
into
his head.
fist fights. Like we've hated each other whenever
Oh,
we were
I mean, all
kids.
siblings have, I would assume. I don't know. At least me and my siblings have. Noah?
What, hated each other at some point in time?
Yeah, you ever punched your siblings? Like, y'all ever get fist fights?
I can't say fist fights, but definitely have gotten whacked on a couple times, and definitely have
whacked
argued a millions on millions of times. It's just how that shit goes.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the fist fight was over. All I remember is that he swung and then I swung. It just kept on going for like a solid like 10 minutes. And then our mom got home and then we just never talked about it. Funny enough, until Thanksgiving, whenever we brought it up. We were like, Mom, do you remember whenever we got into a fist fight? She goes, No, you guys got into a fist fight? We're like, yeah. It was like 10 minutes before you got home, back in Virginia. And she was like, No, I never knew that you guys fought like that. You're like, yeah, dude, we hated each other. Like, we did not stand each other at all.
Yeah, somehow
Like, you were lucky to get us in the same room.
I mean, okay,
can
my
respect that.
siblings are boys. So like,
Boys.
you throwing hands at me, you're going pretty. You're hitting below the belt. So like, I'm gonna throw hands back. Granted, I only got in a fight with one of my brothers. The other one's 6 years younger than me, so like, we never got in fights. But I think I already mentioned it. That little bastard likes to throw. When he was younger, he liked to throw shit at you, like remotes, fake decor apples. Shit hurts. But yeah, he just threw stuff at you. You know, you couldn't fight him back because he was too young. I was aggressive. I was like, I don't know. If you ever had someone throw a Wii remote full force at your freaking head, it hurts. Like, it hurts a lot. So, you know, it was well deserved.
Pretty sure
Yeah.
I talked about me and my brother wailing the remote at each other.
Yeah, I think we got into that. You know, I'm sitting here thinking back to it. It's a good thing that the box TVs used to be really sturdy, because there was a few times where he just like full force threw the remotes at the TVs. And luckily, the
Oh,
TVs were
yeah.
like boxed,
Oh, yeah.
and so it would just break the remotes.
I
Nowadays,
love box
today's
TVs.
TVs would not withstand that. They would immediately break. Yeah, that little
I used
dude had an
to-
arm on him.
I used to throw things at my TV, at my little box TV, because I liked the noise that it made. It was like the dong, dong, dong
ever
every
hit your
time that
head on
something hit it.
I hit my head on one of those once. Like, it hurt. Those things are sturdy, man. They're probably in landfills still, like, to this
Funny
day,
enough,
not broken.
I didn't hit my head on it, but it fell on my head. I was messing with the dresser while I was watching TV, and I was laying under it, like I was messing with the dresser with my feet, and I was leaning it back and forth. The next thing you know, the TV just comes tumbling forward and it hit me.
Sounds a little accurate, especially those box TVs. It's the same thing happened to my brother. He I think he was trying to climb his dresser and it fell on him and it nailed him right in the corner of his head to try to get to the TV, the box TVs. He still has like when you shave his head down, like there's still like a scar where hair won't grow out for where he got nailed in the head.
Damn.
That did a number on him. But I'm trying to think. There was another story that like I got reminded of when you were saying one of your stories. And I can't remember. Oh, okay. A lot of people that are older can relate to this. So, and Jackson and Noah, I don't know if you guys will relate to this, but Leo might. You guys probably will relate to it. But like,
Oh my God, Kat! If
I
you
don't
jump
know.
up here one more time, I'm giving you to the Asian guy.
See, my cat's trained. As long as I don't make eye contact with her, she'll leave me alone right now. But like she started climbing on a bunch of shit in the background. Like she was meowing at me while I was talking at the beginning of this episode, which is why there's probably some people who heard. I can't edit her meow out. Like you're gonna hear it, I'm sure, because she's loud. I looked at her when I said that. But anyways, she started making a bunch of noise and I muted my mic and I hissed at her, which that means, hey, you're doing something bad, stop it. And when I hissed at her, she goes and she just lays in her bed and stares at me. So like, as long as I don't make eye contact with her right now, she'll leave me alone. But going back to what I was gonna say, metal slides. There was like a metal slide of death at one of the public parks down here, and like,
Oh gosh.
they got rid of them. Like I don't see metal slides anymore, but metal slides used to be very common. Which is why I don't know if you guys have ridden on them or not. But here's the thing about metal slides: during the summer, the sun heats them up, and you're basically sliding down a frying pan. And so you want to talk about something painful? The worst thing that you could go on as a child on a playground was when the slides were super hot during the summer and you're just literally sliding down a frying pan. Like they were unbearably hot, like burning you hot. I have no idea how that was considered safe for
Yeah, for
children.
real.
Like no idea at all. Like that should not have been allowed. Not at all, actually. But
It's
yeah, I
so
don't know if you
wild.
guys ever ridden on those, but like they exist and they are tough.
I definitely saw them. Never had a bad experience on one. Not to the I can fry an egg on it kind of experience, but they definitely make you go fast,
Oh yeah,
depending on
they
what
were
type of
fun.
clothing you're in.
Yeah, as long as you didn't, like, during the summer wear shorts and then you put your bare thighs against that shit and it burns.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm
Oh,
Gucci.
oh
That
my
sounds
gosh.
absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you the last time I've seen a metal slide. I don't think they
Been a
make them
while.
anymore. I don't think they make them. Like, they're clearly unsafe. Like, that's gotta be why they're gone. I mean, I'm sure in some other countries they might. And I'm sure there's still some areas in America where they do have metal slides, like really outdated playgrounds. But, like, I think they got rid of them for a reason. Like, I'm sure some kids have gotten burned from them. Like, literally during the summer, especially down here where summers are, like, 100 degrees, like, those were painful. They're tough.
Yeah, the last time I can remember seeing one was probably when I went to Myrtle Beach State Park on a field trip long ago.
The one I'm
But that was
referencing used to be in
probably
Collins Park in Conway. You
don't
weren't down
know.
here whenever that was around. They took that slide out, like,
No.
2007, 2008. They got rid of that slide a
Oh yeah, I
hot
didn't get
minute,
down
well
here
before you
until.
got down here.
Oh yeah, that's a good 5 years.
Yeah, so they got rid of that pretty fast. But in other news, we got episodes on Spotify now, guys. So
Oh shit, really?
yeah, so and I
I didn't
wanted
know
to
that.
I want to just complain about Spotify here, guys. So whoever's watching this, if you guys are, well, obviously you're watching this if you made it to this point, but all of our episodes that we've recorded right now are set to go live next Friday. So at the time of this recording, obviously there's gonna be a bunch of episodes on Spotify already, but like current time of us recording this before posting, I had just started uploading our videos onto Spotify, and it is a nightmare. So I don't know what Spotify's got going on, and I've honestly at this point I don't think I'll ever use Spotify in my life for music. Like I'm so unbearably angry at Spotify right now for wasting literally so much time of mine. But and Noah can attest to this. So I went to go and start uploading on Spotify for our podcast because it's a podcast and Spotify is a good thing to upload on. Well, I had already made our account back in early January, and it's February 21st. I made our account in like the first week of January. And so I knew we had an account. And I told Noah, I was like, hey, let's log into Spotify because Noah was watching me. I was live streaming to Noah. And we went to go log in. I logged in and it kept saying there is no account with this email. This account like does not exist. This account like there's inaccurate. I kept hitting forget password. Like I'm thinking like maybe it's just like there's an error. I type in the email, the username, no account exists. All right, whatever. Clearly, I guess we just don't have an account anymore. So me and Noah are watching this. So we're so confused. And I'm like, dude, I swear to you, I made an account. Like, I promise you. I was not going crazy. So then I go to hit create new account. And I enter in the email. And then it immediately tells me, you can't make a new account. You already have an account with this email. Why are you trying to make a new account? And so I'm like, all right, what the hell? So I go back and I try to log in again. It says there's no account with this email. I go back to hit create account. I do this about 5 times. Noah can attest. He watched me do this. And every time it would contradict itself. So at that point, I had to message support, said, hey, I can't get in my account. What's going on? And support kept edging us. It just kept edging us. Like, me and Noah are sitting there watching, and you'll see the typing bubble pop up, and it stopped. And it'd pop up again. And it stopped. And it was like a good 10 minutes of the bubble popping up and stopping for them to send me this tiny message. And it basically was like, oh yeah, we had to go into our system and fix this. Like, it was a bug on their end that caused me not to log in. Like, it was just a bug. Like, there was nothing to it. So they had to go in and fix whatever's on their end just so I can log into my account. So I wasn't aggravated at this point. I was actually pretty impressed. I was like, okay, great. Like, they fixed this pretty fast. Like, I wasn't mad. And so I get into Spotify only to find out that you can't upload podcasts or any kind of form of videos or anything to Spotify through Spotify. You have to go on a different website or go through third-party softwares to be able to upload on Spotify. So then I had to figure out how to upload to Spotify. And I go to Spotify Creators, which is, obviously, as it says, it's Spotify Creators. You upload Spotify stuff through there. So I go in there and I log in and I hit new episode. And it says that it takes MOV files, MP4 files. It takes like 4 or 5 different types of files. I'm like, all right, cool. All of our podcast episodes already are MP4 files. So I go and I upload it. Noah watches, it says file error. It doesn't work. After it already hit, we waited, and then once when it hits 100%, then it says file error. So I tried that about 4 or 5 times. No dice. It did not work at all. So I'm like, all right. So literally after being unable to log in and having to ask support, now I have to go back to support and tell them I can't even upload a single video. And I kid you not, I spent 14 hours with support, roughly 14 hours on support chat, trying to figure out why I can't upload. Support kept saying, what file are you using? I'm like, it's MP4. I show them it's MP4 because they kept asking me to send video proof or picture proof to make sure I wasn't lying. And then they're like, all right, well, change it to MOV. MOV is a movie file, I believe, which is super outdated. Like, a lot of places, like, a lot of softwares don't have MOV files anymore. And so the guy's like, change it to MOV. I'm like, whatever. So I try to change it to MOV, and my software doesn't support it. And then at this point, the guy's like, oh, we'll try Riverside. It's like a free editing software that Spotify provides. And I go and I upload our video to Spotify, Riverside. And it completely, ruined all the audio. The video visually looked terrible. Like, it just warped everything, horribly. And I texted back support. I'm like, this shit just ruined our video. Like, what's up? And they're like, oh, well, you could fix it. There's an audio editor there. There's not an audio editor that's deep in detail. There's an AI fix if you wanted to fix it, but it didn't fix it. It actually made it worse. So anyways, I told this guy, I was like, honestly, at this point, because this was already a couple hours into dealing with Spotify chat, and he basically just kept telling me to change the file to an MOV file, even though it's an MP4, and they say they take MP4, but whatever. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I just don't think I'm going to use Spotify, but I wasn't going to give up that easily, even though I had already spent 3 or 4 hours at this point. Eventually I found out my other editing software that I use supports MOV files, so I then was able to convert our podcast to an MOV file. So, finally, I do what Spotify support told me. Change it to an MOV file. I go and upload it, guess what? File error. Doesn't work. Message support back again. They're like, are you sure this is an MOV file? I send them proof. It's an MOV file. Still not working. Anyways, and they're like, okay, well, try a different browser extension. I'm like, how the hell is that gonna help me? But I tried another browser extension. File error once again. Keep in mind, it takes an hour for the video to upload to Spotify. So every time they tell me to try a new website, I'm waiting an hour for the shit to upload, the message chat back or support, and be like, it's not working. So then they're like, all right, well, try an incognito tab. Try that. Didn't work. And then eventually they were like, all right, let's do a command prompt. So they had me go into the command prompts. This is just ridiculous at this point. They had me go into command prompts and delete like command history. And then finally my video uploaded correctly. I was like, yay, it's done. I'm good, chat or support. I'm good. I don't need this anymore. Like, we're good. The video uploaded.
I'm good, chat.
I'm good, chat. But I tell the support that. They're like, okay, great. Have a nice day. We're done. I had already put like 6 or 7 hours into support now at this point, like trying a bunch of different shit. I'm like, finally, I got our episode uploaded. I go and it's uploaded, it's scheduled, and I go to like watch it, right? I go to watch it, make sure it's scheduled correctly. And then it pops up and it says file error again after it already went through correctly, quote unquote correctly. And so I'm sitting here refreshing it. I'm trying the other browser extensions. I'm trying incognito mode again, and all of them say the file error. And so I'm like, all right, what the hell? And so then I message chat support back, and I'm like, hey, like this still says file error once again. And I was starting to get very angry at this point because I had put a lot of time and effort for this to be bugged out. And then they're like, well, it shows on our end it's uploaded. I'm like, okay, well, it shows on my end that it's not uploaded correctly. And then he's like, all right, log in, log back out, and log back in. It's literally like the equivalent of, have you tried turning it on or off? So I log out and I log back in, and then it completely like deleted half the episode. It changed the whole title of the episode, got rid of the description, and it removed our podcast completely from the website. And they're like, it's still showing it's uploaded. And we're like, it's completely gone on my end. What the hell? And so the guy was like, no, it's not. It's on our end. And he's like, try another extension. So then I'm going back through a bunch of different web browsers trying to log back in, and every single web browser is telling me that it is not uploaded, like it's gone, it's file error, like it's f***ed up. And then he's like, download the app on your phone. So then I download the app on my phone. And he's like, what's it say on your phone? I'm like, it still says file error, dude. Like, what the f***? So, back and forth, just us back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then, he told me, he's like, this is weird. Like, this shouldn't be happening. I'm like, yeah, no shit, dude. No shit, this shouldn't be happening. So at this point, I had been on chat. This is 3 a.m. in the morning. He's like, all right, you're going to have to record you uploading it. Even though I've been sending him screenshots. He's like, record the whole process of you uploading it. And then send us a video. I told him, I was like, there's literally no point. I just upload the file. It processes and just says file error. Like, there's no point in me sending you a video. Like, that is not going to help you out at all. But he's like, well, we got to fix stuff in our system. So you just need to send a video. So I go and do that. I told him, I was like, you know, it's too f***ing late to be dealing with that. This is obviously a bug on your end. I'll deal with that in the morning, because it was 3 a.m. at this point. I was like, I'll get you a video in the morning. I wake up and I try again, just for the hell of it, and it worked this morning. So whatever bug they had going on, they fixed it overnight, I guess. But I had literally spent like 14 hours total, like all day yesterday, trying to get our episodes uploaded to Spotify. So I'm almost positive it was another bug on their end, again. But I've had nothing but a terrible experience with them. So, yeah, guys, first episode's on Spotify. That's
what's
where
up.
we're at. I mean, I'm not expressing how I was very... I'm still very angry about it, but I was very, very angry. I mean, I literally wasted half of my day. I wasted over half my day for that
it literally
bullshit.
spilled over to the next day.
Yeah, it's literally like a 2-day process, because it was late. It was in the afternoon on the first day, and then the second morning I woke up and I spent all day on it. I probably spent more than 14 hours in total if you include like the bug of me not even being able to log in. But and I have video and photo evidence of it where it says that it would not let me log in. But like after this, I've decided that I will never ever use Spotify for music. Like not after this. Like I literally every single step of the way, for me to be able to upload our podcast, even to be able to log in, I had to have support help me. Because, like, their shit is so bugged. I'm almost positive whatever the issue was is on their end. Because how does it just magically get fixed the next day? Like, that makes no sense. And they kept telling me, they're like, this is weird. Like, we got to fix stuff on our end. Like, we got to dive into it. He had reached out to an extra support team because he couldn't help me. So it had to have been an issue on their end. And the first issue with not being able to log in was clearly an issue on their end. They had to go in and fix. So whatever it was, they fixed it. I can upload just fine now. By the time you guys listen to this, like, shit, that was 2 months. By the time you guys listen to this, we record 2 months in advance. So you guys would have already, like, there's well more than one episode on Spotify. But, like, yeah, guys, you want to listen to us on Spotify? We're on Spotify. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm so done with that. Ugh.
Okay, never mind. We're done with Spotify.
No, but we're gonna keep using it. Spotify, thank you for letting me upload on you, but Jesus Christ, everything that for the love is holy. Like, how are you guys such a big corporation, a big company, and you guys like struggle to let people just upload stuff or even log in? How does that work? I literally made an account, did a few things on it, got it looking nice, log in a few weeks later, and I can't. How does that work? Like, really? Yeah, that was my whole experience. So, taking an L on that one. I was this close to just saying to hell with it. I literally was so close to just being done with it. I never want to sit in chat support for 14 hours again.
I mean, hey, you know what they say. Shit be stankin'.
Yeah, I don't know what Spotify's net worth is, but like I'm sure they're breaking in a lot of money to be having bugs like this.
Very, very rich.
And like, here's the thing.
Very, very.
It's not just me that has these issues. I was looking up threads and stuff like that to try to help me. And there's like multiple Reddit threads where people were like, I'm struggling to upload. I can't do this or this and this. I'm uploading the right thing. I've seen some threads where people are like, I've already 300 episodes in and all of a sudden I just can't upload anymore. Like, it's super buggy. Like, there's tons of threads going over the same issues I had. It was every step of the way I had an issue. Every single step. And then, oh yeah, and then to make it even better, I was uploading our episodes. And I accidentally scheduled one a month earlier. Like, I just saw this, like, I was uploading a video for the 7th of March. And since we're on February right now, I just clicked February the 7th by accident. I thought I was on March, but I wasn't. And so when I hit schedule, it released the video. And the video went live. And so I'm sitting here, I'm deleting it. It's not deleting. And I spent like a good hour pressing delete on and off. I went on a bunch of different browsers, everything. Press delete, it didn't work. Went on the app, press delete, it just was not deleting, no matter what I did. And so I went in there and tried to edit, and it's like, well, you can't remove any of your episodes because you don't have any episodes out. Since this is your first episode, you can't remove it. And so I'm sitting here like freaking out, and it wasn't letting me reschedule it. And eventually it let me reschedule it. And once when I was able to reschedule it, then I could delete it. Like, why not just tell me that? I literally spent forever trying to fix that shit, which granted, that was my fault at that point, but like, why couldn't I delete it? If I hit delete, it should delete it. I don't know. That's it. That's my rant on Spotify. I really wanted to get that off my chest. That way everyone can know the struggle. Don't get me wrong, their support was helpful, but like telling me that, like, it just felt like they didn't believe me. They're like, send a picture of this, send a picture of that, send a screenshot of this, send a whole video. And like the whole uploading process takes like an hour and a half. I'm like, you guys really want me to send you an hour and a half of just the video processing? Like, you know how it works. It's not going to help you. But yeah.
Give them in 10 times speed format.
No, I wasn't even gonna edit any of it for them because like.
Oh gosh, no! I was just doing just a joke.
Okay. I got real petty when I was recording the video for them. I'm like, listen, guys, this is what's going on. I've already told you what's going on. I was like getting spicy with them. Like, I know it's not their fault, but like the fact that you needed me to upload video evidence when you know how it works and it's just saying error, like, you understand how that works. There's literally nothing to physically watch happen. There was nothing to physically see. It just says error. That's all it says. But, I rest my case. I don't know if you guys have any hard time with support, but that's probably my worst. Okay, besides not Social Security, besides the IRS, that's the worst time I've had to deal with.
The IRS.
Well, yeah, that's IRS.
Yeah, I mean,
around.
Yeah, I spent a whole year on the phone with IRS. That's a whole different story.
I would not. I would just die.
Well, you know how those $14, what was it? $1,400 stimulus checks is what they're called. They had a $1,400 stimulus check that went out in like 2022, right? I think it was 2022.
Yeah.
I didn't get one.
I never got one. But every adult was supposed to get one. So why didn't I get one? And so anyways, I then get a letter in the mail from the IRS at my apartment, and it's like, hey, here's showing it was deposited, this and this and this, like, just showing that this was routed correctly. And I go and I look at it. It's not my signature on the $1,400 check. And so I call the IRS up, and for anyone who's ever called the IRS, it's not that simple. You can't just call the IRS. They have a whole bot system you got to go through, and then you have to wait on the phone for someone to pick up. And might I just say this was in 2023 when I was calling them, because I didn't find out until tax season of the next year. They went out 2022. I didn't find out till 2023. So I talked to a bot. Finally, it lets me get on the waiting list to speak to someone. And you wait typically on the line for like an hour, 2 hours. Shit, one day I waited 3 hours. Only to speak to someone. And then half the time they don't have the answer, so then they transfer you to someone else, and that's another couple of hours you're waiting. And then you talk to someone, and then half the time it was just, I don't know what's going on. I'll have to ask my supervisor, like, I don't know why you didn't get this, like, this and this and this. And it was literally almost every single day for a whole straight year. I kept calling them because I wanted my damn money. I wanted the $1,400. Like, it's $1,400 because someone stole my check in the mail. Whoever was delivering the mail stole the check. And then they signed it off and cashed it in. They forged my signature. So, yeah, I mean, there were some days I spent literally like 8 hours on the, well, this is on days off, but like when I spent like 8 hours on the phone. And then after almost a whole year of calling them almost daily, spending like literally half the day on the phone with them, whenever I was free, I finally said, you know what, I'm done. And I had to fill out a bunch of different paperwork. Like, I started making progress slowly, but it got to a point where it was just like, all right, well, you're not going to get any help is basically what they told me. Like, oh, well, you're just shit out of luck. Then, like, a month later, the stimulus check popped in my mail. I got a new one. But, yeah, that was like a whole year. It was the IRS. You know, they suck.
Never want to deal with them ever in my life, I hope.
Yeah, good luck on that.
Whether it be good
Sure,
for the
there's
good
one
or the
day.
bad.
I mean,
If they're on me for the bad, then I'm in some pretty tough shit, I'd say.
yeah, I mean,
Fingers crossed.
I still have
Tony.
yet to get access back to my PlayStation account that I've spent well over like $500 on,
What did you
like
do?
game wise. I lost the login. So back before I got a computer, back before 2021, I used to play on PlayStation a lot. So that was the console that I played on. That was my main gaming platform, was PS4. Well, whenever I got my computer, I never really thought about my whole PlayStation anymore, you know, because didn't play it. So, basically just sitting there
I hear
collecting
your
dust.
cat.
Is she? Where the f- are you?
I hear
Oh,
your
yeah.
cat
She's
meowing.
screaming.
She's like, meow, meow. Like,
Dude, are you okay? What is wrong?
it's okay. My cat is also like up my ass right now. Maybe
Hello?
they're just hearing the podcast.
What is wrong with
and they want
you?
to be a part of it. Everyone's cats.
You want some
like,
beer? Like, I don't think you'll like it. I'd actually
Imagine
give
if
my
she
cat
just
beer.
like said yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but what's it called? I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry, your cat threw me off. I
No,
thought it was
dude,
cute.
my cat was
It's
throwing me off
cute.
too.
It's just, you don't just hate when your cat ruins your day.
Sometimes, but I love her for it. Oh yeah. So, you know, I haven't played on my PlayStation in a while. Well, I plugged it in whenever I was dating this chick, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that I had this account." So I tried to log into it, and it was like, "By the way, you have a two-step factor or two-step authorization factor." I was like, "Okay, what the could I have made the code?" So I tried every 4-digit code that I could have ever put for it. Like, I tried everything that I could have ever had for a 4-digit code, and nothing. So I was like, all right, cool. So let me contact support, see if I can get, because whenever you have a two-step factor, you can't access an account unless you get past that two-step authorization. So I called support, and I was like, hey, I don't really know what to do with this. And he goes, well, have you tried resetting the password? I was like, well, you can't reset the password because there's this two-step authorization code. The whole point of the two-step is that whenever you need to reset the password, like you can't unless you get past that two-step. And he goes, well, I guess you're kind of SOL basically. And I was like, what the I've spent like over $500 on like games and shit for this account, and I can't access it anymore. And like I kind of gave up on it. So I was like, I'm just not going back to PlayStation anymore. So I bought Skate 3 for my Xbox One downstairs. I've been playing that.
See, you're better than me. I would have freaked the out. Quite frankly, I would have literally been messaging every form of support they had, and I would have been calling them Like, I'm not above sitting hours on the phone if I need, obviously. But, like, I don't know. Especially when I spent that kind of money on something, I would have, yep. You know what vibes this is giving me? The memes where it's like, the guy has something wrong with his food and his girlfriend's like, you forgot this, or like, this is not what he ordered. This is like, maybe
That's
it's
exactly what I do.
maybe it's like maybe it's a
100% what I
woman
do.
thing. Maybe it's a woman thing. Like, I wouldn't give up that easily. I would be blowing them up. Like, this is not SOL. Like, this makes no sense. You need to like figure this out. Like, I'm sure you can like do all this and this and this. I would have spazzed out. I would have been calling someone in person. I'm sure half of the people you probably would call for support can't even speak English very well, which probably would have made it very hard to get through. But, you know, when there's a will, there is a way. If I could fight the IRS, anybody can fight anything, right?
Right.
True that, I guess.
Oh my
You can stop
gosh.
now.
Really? Taylor,
You know what I
calm
just
down.
remembered? You know what I just remembered? No. Okay. I said, oh my gosh, in response to remembering something, not because I was angry. Calm down so fast.
Oh my god.
No, okay. All right. Did you guys see the other day that the little fish with the bulb on its head came out of like the depths of the ocean? Like, I don't know what the name of the fish
with
is.
bowl on his head?
Yeah, you know, like
No, I know
I don't know what the name of the fish is. Is it like a
I want to say an
wrangler? What do I-
anglerfish, but it's not an
Oh, it's-
anglerfish.
No, is it? Are you sure? It might be.
I don't think so. Is it an anglerfish?
I'm looking at fish with light on his head. It is an angler. Okay, yeah, it's an anglerfish. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's what
angler-
you said. I thought you said bowl.
No, bulb, like,
Like,
you know,
no.
light bulb. I don't know if any. I mean, there might be some kind of creature with a built-in bowl
Maybe with
on
some
its
sea
head.
trash, yeah.
But all right. So those
I'm
fish.
sorry, I'm still stuck on Taylor. Calm down.
Taylor, calm down. It was so fast. But no. So like the other day, when they're like, there's only 2 instances of them ever being on video, and the other day was the second instance. So we've only seen this fish once before on like recorded video. Please leave me alone. What do you want? All right. I don't know what is with the cast tonight. Is the full moon now? Like, what the hell? All right. Anyways, so the anglerfish emerged out of the deep dark sea because that's where they live. You know, hence the light on its head. You know, we all know how that works with that
Finding
fish.
Nemo.
Yeah, Finding Nemo. And you know, I've always imagined that these fish, like, were comparable to the size of like a standard pillow. Like, I'm thinking like they're big fish. They're not big fish. Have you guys so you guys haven't seen the
Yeah,
picture?
I thought that they were fucking massive.
Yeah, guess how big the fish is. Like,
Maybe our
there's no,
perception was just warped based on the size difference in Finding Nemo.
maybe it was, but like, guess how big it is.
Size
It's
of your
probably like the
palm.
fucking. Yeah, I was gonna say probably
Yeah.
that.
It's so
Like your
tiny.
pufferfish.
Yeah, it's so tiny, and apparently when they only come up when they're dying, and so like, boy, the internet is like shitting their pants over this fish. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so
Dude, the
poetic.
fucking quotes and everything.
Yeah, the quotes.
It's so fucking
there's
cool.
been like art. I think it's cute. I actually think that the quotes I've been seeing are great, but it's like the internet is heartbroken right now over this little anglerfish, this tiny. I'm still shocked at how like they're so tiny, but unfortunately they're just very ugly. But no, like the internet
Wow.
is like making all the internet's making all these quotes like. He wanted to see the light before he died. Like, he gets to see the pretty world one last time and all this stuff. And I'm sitting here. There's some comments that are like, guys, it is not that deep. And then, like, half the other internet's like, this is so sad. Like, oh my gosh. And I've seen all kinds of stuff. But, like, that's just something that shocked me. I thought it would be interesting to share. I didn't know if all of you, like, have, seen the fish or not. But, like, yeah, like, that's... I'm still shocked at how small it is.
Yeah, dude, I'm right there with you. Like, I did not expect it to be that small.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a little
No,
hockey
it could be
puck.
a pet.
A pet.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
dude, it could definitely be a pet.
It's a nice.
It
soft
could
pet.
definitely be a pet, but like, I don't. Okay, I am
Little
not a
nightlight,
marine
you know?
biologist. Imagine I'm not a. I think they. What was the math on it? They live in deep sea depth.
Yeah, that's why I was saying probably very unlikely that have one as a pet.
Well, like I saw someone saying that the pressure from it rising all the way from where it should be at to the surface was like the equivalent of like 30,000 pounds. Like, Like, that would have
Probably
crushed
makes sense.
would have crushed someone. I don't know if that math is true. It's literally just like a Facebook comment I feel like I remember reading. I don't know if it was 30,000 pounds exactly, but it was like heavy, heavy math. But, yeah, no, I mean, wouldn't that be cool if you can keep them in like a little cool tank? But I don't think we can mimic like how much pressure they would need to survive, because I don't think they're meant to survive in like light waters. That makes sense.
But I would like to, nonetheless. It's a good
I
thought.
mean, eventually one day, I'm sure you give it like another couple of 100 years. I'm sure there will be
yeah, I'll
some
be
that live
around.
in the... Yeah, dude. You'll be here in spirit. I'm sure one day some
No,
kids...
I'll live forever.
God bless.
For sure.
I'm sure
Thank
one
you.
day, one day there might be a form of species that will probably develop into where they can be on the surface, and then maybe people can turn them into like little pets. But
If we just evolve into mermaids.
yeah, what if I just become Namor from Marvel Rivals?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I could speak to fish. You got a little orb. I got a 6-pack. You know, like sounds like a plan. Sounds like a
The
plan. You
6-pack's
know,
what-
like
is the 6-pack what sells it for you?
no, not really. Honestly, I'm not a muscle person. I'm really not. I think a lot of women are muscle people. I'm not a muscle person. I'm not a dad bod person either. I feel like I need to make that clear. I like him
So
like
you like a
string
medium?
beans. I like him string bean with a slight tone. I don't care about butts either.
That's surprising.
What, the butt part?
You're never like walking down the street and being like, damn, that man has a nice ass.
No, but something I remember. I'm laughing so hard. You guys are gonna find this funny. So like, down here in Myrtle Beach, we get a lot of J1s, which if anybody's not familiar with what a J1 is, it's a foreign exchange student. And we get them from everywhere. We get them from like, Russia, we get them from, the UK, we get them from everywhere. Well, anyway, we had some Nigerian ones that came down here. And they're all very handsome and they're very, very fit. And anyways, this was back in like 2018. Me and my family went out to go eat one day. And we went to Margaritaville down here, which is where like there's a bunch of J1s during the summer. And like I said, because I worked down there in Broadway, so I worked with some of the exchange students, and like every single Nigerian foreign exchange student that I worked with, they were built. Like they looked great. Like they were evenly toned. Like I don't know what they were putting in the water over there, but those guys, like, they work out actively. You could tell those guys are like drinking pre-workout all day, every day. But anyways, their butts were massive. And I remember I went to go eat with my family. My mom's like, "Oh my God, look at his butt." And was like just pointing out to a guy that I knew. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, "Oh my God." But I just like, I don't know what it is, but apparently a lot of women, they really like butts. I don't, why would I want a man with a butt bigger than mine? I don't even got much there.
Amen.
I guess that's one way to look at it.
I just don't find butts appealing. Like it's just booty cheeks. Like, I don't know. I got TNA. Wait, okay. TRA.
Huh?
TRA. TRA.
Oh, tits or ass?
Yeah.
Oh.
TRA, man.
Hey.
Really? Okay, so it is booty. Okay, okay. Okay, hon, I don't have to question why it's enticing for you guys. It's different for my. It's different for my. Like, you can never go wrong with some padding, I guess, for you guys. But like for a girl, like, there's no need for the guy to have a big butt. Like, unless you're a girl that likes pegging your guy, which I'm not into that, so I don't need it to have booty cheeks. I mean, there's
That's-
like
that's
you don't need any
hilarious.
padding there. I
That's
don't
fair.
know. I don't like. I would assume that's why A is the answer, right? Like padding.
I wouldn't. I mean, I don't really care regardless. It's just, if I were to choose between one or the other, probably that.
Jackson, really?
Mhm.
Jackson just commented on topics and planning topics. And he commented pegging. You really want to have a conversation? I mean, I'm down to have a conversation about pegging. Like, what? What do you want to talk about?
This right now. I will not let a woman touch my butt.
That's okay. I was gonna say that's all I have to add to the topic.
Like, it's not much of a topic. It's just a statement. I won't let a woman touch my butt, is what you said.
Yes.
Why? Okay. Why is that?
We're not gonna delve into this.
No,
What do you mean?
like you
gay?
wanted a
No,
conversation. Like
like-
let's have a conversation. Why don't you want to? Why will you not let a woman peg you?
It's
Is
gay.
okay? Is it masculinity
Don't say
for you?
masculinity. Hello.
There's nothing. Okay.
You want to do butt
But
stuff?
you think
Okay, I'm not
you
saying
think
that there's
it's-
nothing masculine about it, but I'm sorry, but if you have some type of foreign object or anything at all shoving up your butt, and it's not like a doctor's finger to like make sure that you're healthy, like good for you if that's what you're into, but I'm sorry, that is not something that I will be physically able to do.
Okay, all right, and that's completely fine. I'm like, listen, I would never peg a guy. I think that's not my cup of tea. But like, I know a guy that likes to be pegged. You guys know him too. It's I'm obviously remove the. He likes shit up his ass.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, like I know
Did not
guys
know
who
that.
like shit up their ass. Like I mean,
Yeah,
your
wait, you
G
weren't there for that
spot's in your
conversation, were you?
ass. Yeah, your G spot's in your ass. So like, you guys aren't remotely
that.
curious to see how it feels.
No.
No, not in the slightest.
I am
crazy.
okay with missing out.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much the pegging conversation. I don't know what else I'd like. I guess by definition it could be pegged, but it's not really pegging on my end of the spectrum. That's just anal at that point. That's just anal at that point. Like, there's no strap-ons required at that point.
That is true. But
Uh,
would you find that enjoyable?
I don't know. I haven't done it. I'm not opposed to it.
Oh.
I'm open to trying
Okay.
anything. Everyone has what they want to try, and everyone has like what they want to test out.
Indeed,
I'm
I agree.
not willingly going to say, "Hey, let's do that." What about money?
Money on my
Payment.
butt?
No, not money.
Okay.
No.
Hey, I mean, if
Well,
I can get
okay,
it now,
money-
I deserve it, right?
That's what I was gonna say. Well, we could do money too, but like payment wise, what would be the minimum you would take? Or let's okay. Let's say I'm gonna pay you money to put a butt
Okay.
plug up your ass. What is the minimum?
For
Listen,
how
okay.
long?
And be realistic. Don't be like $1 million, because you know
No,
damn
for
well
how long?
if I offered you $10K right now, you would shove that shit up your ass.
For how long?
Just to get it in your ass and leave it in there for like 5 minutes.
5 minutes? That's a long time, bro.
In
5
sexy
minutes.
time, that
Take it
feels
or
like
leave
a
it.
fucking
Pay.
long
Take it or
time.
leave it. Take it or leave it. Your asshole's gonna adjust to it, I guess. I don't know how that works.
Bruh.
Take it or leave it.
Bruh.
5 minutes minimum. You know damn well if I offered you 10K.
Not
you
for
would do it.
10K. No, I would not for 10K.
For 10K, I would do it.
Yeah, for
Nope,
10K,
not for 10K.
I'd do that for like
I
$500.
need 10K right now. Hello.
Yeah, like
You know how much shit that could get? Like I could do
Jackson,
with
I
$10,000.
refuse to believe that if I offered you 10K right now, cold hard cash, you wouldn't consider doing it. You would. I feel like you would.
I
do
would
it.
consider it. I
You
would
would-
consider it, but I would not do it.
Okay, what's your minimum then?
What's your price?
Be
20.
realistic. Okay, 20.
20K.
That's crazy.
There's worse things to do.
There is worse things to do. I'm not like, don't get me wrong, but no, not for 10K. It's 1 inch to 1.5 inch diameter.
Ooh,
What is that, like-
diameter.
That's a crazy. Dude, that's nuts. That's crazy.
Yikes! For 5 minutes too. Yikes!
I feel like your asshole would adjust at some point, right? Like,
That's gotta be so uncomfortable. Now, oh god,
wait, okay, hold on. You can't
I'm
just
not
shove
saying-
shit
I
up
had
your
some-
ass. There's gonna be lubrication involved. Like, I'm not gonna let you raw dog it. Like you're gonna get a little help, you know. Like, I'll offer help. You know, you can use lube.
Sticking firm, 20K.
Okay. At least Noah was honest. He said, "I'd do it for 10K. I'd do it.
I mean, I
Shit,
can
I'd do it
delve
for
into the
1K.
topic
I'd do
more,
it for
but I'd rather do
$500,
that.
dude."
Dude.
I'm not delving into the topic more on the podcast.
You don't want to tell the internet about what you would or would do with your asshole
No,
for
no.
money.
Oh, I'm not adding on to the subject because I can add on to the subject. I really could, but
Okay, but what happens if I slip $1 up your ass? Like,
how,
you're gonna,
dollar?
you're
how
gonna
do you
use
how are
it-
you gonna manage such a thing?
well, it's just theoretical. You said there's money in your ass, you get it, you earned it at that point. So like, if I shoved a
Ooh,
$100
if I
bill up
can
your
get it,
ass,
yeah.
Let me
like-
let me ask you something that I had a coworker ask me my very first day at work.
all right,
How many batteries do you think that you can shove up your ass?
what
And
size
then they're like the
batteries are we talking?
AAA batteries.
AAA, okay.
How
I don't
many
know.
batteries
I've
do you
never.
think that you can
It's
shove
not
up
like
your
a.
ass?
there are apparently like coin purses, like your assholes. I don't know, like how much I could.
I said like 6.
Well, like, here's the thing, and I know this. I don't know why I know this, but like, oh no, I know this because I watched doctor videos, and I actually used to have a friend who was a doctor of mine, and he had to pry out this massive, like literally like this gigantic, like huge, massive, like 8-inch dildo out of this 92-year-old man's ass.
What are we talking about?
92-year-old man.
Yeah, so believe it or not, and a nurse or a doctor will tell you this. There are doctors and nurses who actively have to pry dildos out of old people all the time, like from like assholes. Like I kid you not, there is a big statistic of people that have to have stuff manually removed from their assholes.
Are we leaving this in?
Yeah.
What?
What? We already talked about 2 girls, 1 cup, and like shit. Like why would we leave this out? Like. Why
I'm just kind of like lost here right now. I'm just kind of like, what the going on?
It was the conversation, dude. We're having.
I'm just saying, bro. The way that this podcast started versus how it's ending,
I swear to
really
God.
bad.
Yeah, I hold some childhood stories, and then we get on to shoving shit up your ass. Yeah, like,
for real.
Okay, but like, there's a big statistic of people. No, we're removing those because that's inappropriate according to. So here's the thing: according to YouTube, it's inappropriate for us to be saying "fuck" a lot, but we could talk about shoving shit up our assholes. Like it's crazy, isn't it?
This is wild.
Jesus.
Yeah,
what does the world come to?
But going back to what I was saying about the batteries, and why I know this about your asshole. Your asshole's like a vacuum. Whatever you put up in there, it gets sucked up. It like stays in. It gets sucked up. So if you were to insert a bunch of batteries into your ass, it would start like sucking up into your ass. Like there's no helping it. It just goes up, which is why like butt plugs, stuff like that, they have like a hook on the end, like they're like T-shaped. That way your ass doesn't suck it up completely. But like that's why there's so many like not videos, but cases of doctors having to pry shit out of people's ass because like people stick shit up that they shouldn't. But it is a very big thing, and it's a very big issue of how many people shove stuff up their ass. But so as for batteries, you could probably fit a shitload of batteries statistically in your asshole. It's just they're gonna get sucked up into your body, and you're gonna get really sick and really probably heavily damaged. You can definitely fit more than 2 up your ass, Jackson. I can tell you that.
I said 5.
Oh, you can fit more than 5 up your ass. Double A's? You said triple A's? Either way. All right, but with that said, guys, thank you so much for. What is in it? With that said, guys, sorry about this conversation. Sorry that no, I'm not going to apologize. Why not?
Don't apologize for nothing.
I'm not apologizing for having this conversation.
Apologize.
But, okay, I like
nobody.
We literally we can't get any worse than what we're already at. I mean, literally, our very first episode was us talking about 2 girls, 1 cup, and putting peanut butter in your mouth and shit like that. I don't want to hear it. Like, I think they're funny topics. Why not? Like, I don't care if we're all adults here, and if you're under the age of 18 and you're listening to this,
Go f yourself.
No, don't f yourself. That's things that only people above 18 should do. But technically you're not supposed to be watching this, so I'm still following guidelines. You know, this is labeled as for adults, but like, you do you, boo. If you're underage, like, you do you. I don't care, but like, this anus talk is staying in here. But anyways, if you guys enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe. If you guys are listening to us on the podcast on Spotify, well, go ahead and check out our YouTube channel. We actually have more than just podcasts going on our YouTube channel. We actually do have some Reddit Am I the Asshole stories. Those are pretty great. Those are really entertaining. You guys can hear our feedback on some of those. We also have some segments that we're going to be releasing here soon. So I would assume by the time this video comes out, you guys are, that would be on there. So check out our YouTube. That's where the majority of our stuff's at. If you're listening on Spotify, if you don't want to check out our YouTube, that's cool, but leave us a rating. You know, we'd appreciate it. Like, give us 5 stars. You know, we're new to this, but with that said, we will see you guys later, and yeah, adios.
Adios.
Bye-bye.